Well, happy Friday, everyone. We have a very sensitive topic, but we are focused on 40 plus women going through perimenopause and menopause, and they also go through a lot of relationship issues. I was looking at the data. 60% of the women who get divorced are going through menopause, believe it or not. And there's a high percentage of women who are going through menopause are also have domestic abuse issues. So there's multiple things going on. And today we have Narayani. Narayani is an energy guide, spiritual coach, and yoga instructor who will help us understand and how these women can use all these tools, right, to help them heal. So that's what I'd like you to start with. And namaste. Thank you so much, Narayani, for coming here.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. Yeah, so gosh, I'm in menopause, full disclosure. It is a whole nother body. Like we spoke earlier, Amita, like I told you, I don't have my own children, but I'm a doula. I've been around childbirth. And as most women have children, when you go through pregnancy and postpartum, it's like you have another body. It's like it's a whole nother body. It doesn't do what it used to do. You can't, what you used to think you could put some kind of food in it and it would have an effect, or do some kind of exercise, you'd lose that weight. It's different. Same thing in menopause. These are rites of passage for women. And actually my Ayurvedic teacher, Dr. Vasant Lad, he taught us that menopause is actually a time when women's kundalini is awakening, which means that your spiritual energy is moving from survival, run around, get it done, into your wisdom years, which we know, we understand, we see that the old wise woman, the old wise man. I mean, we're talking about menopause, but as we get older, hopefully we acquire wisdom and we're able to be guides and help people more from our minds, not necessarily our bodies. So, a 60-year-old, 65, 70-year-old woman may not be asked to help move her son, pack boxes and drive a truck across the country, but maybe if that's you, maybe, they will call you and ask you for advice on, how to, have a conversation with your girlfriend that you're leaving your state or whatever. So, as we get older, I think it's important to understand that your energy is different. So there's a lot of clearing that needs to happen, which I feel I've been experiencing the last several years, in what happens with hot flashes, what happens with exhaustion, what happens with like the heart racing, all these things, whether you're treating it naturally with food or with, I choose to be totally natural. So I'm not taking estrogen, but I also have breast cancer in my family. So that's why I chose not to do it that way. But whether you are or you're not taking hormones, understand that your body is naturally going through kind of a shedding of who you were, and you have an opportunity to be a brand new version of yourself, to rebirth yourself spiritually into what I say right now. I'm 50. I'm going to be 52 next month. I have a couple of friends that are my age. I say we're like mini Crohn's. We're like a baby Crohn's. We're in the birth canal into these wisdom years. So as you're going through, it's an opportunity to both shed where you've been through practices, and I'll talk a little about practices, and also to vision who you are becoming. Because what I've come to see and understand, I learned this from a beautiful teacher named Jamie Sams. If y'all like Native American spirituality, she's a beautiful writer and teacher. From her writings is that the women's path of spirituality is to become her own vision. And we do that by healing ourselves and making peace with all the reflections of the feminine around us and in our lives. What does that mean? It means that if I see something in a woman and she's cranky, and I think, well, she's kind of a cranky, whatever, I won't use that word on Facebook, that perhaps that if that's what you see, perhaps you are in the frequency of that energy, and you have an opportunity to forgive and heal the parts of yourself that are maybe less than perfect. So menopause era is a great time to start to really clean up how you think, especially as women. We want to uplift women. We want to stop competing with ourselves and each other and really embrace ourselves and one another where we are. And when we do that, we have an opportunity to actually support everyone in our lives from a stronger foundation. So doing practices that help you forgive, that open your heart, that help you clear and let go of that which you're not anymore, makes room for you to be in, enter towards these wisdom years in a way that is authentic based on the way that nature, God has created you. So first of all, understand your mindset. Don't try to be younger. You're not. Okay. And if you need to grieve and go on a weekend and whatever you do, or have a night with your girlfriends, or do your own prayer ceremony or work with your priest or whoever, whatever your spiritual practice is, in order to let go of who you were, do that. And the way that I do that is through those particular ways, literally sitting down and making ceremony. We gather now here. I live in Western North Carolina with women every new moon. And we gather, we light candles, we give thanks, and we do universal prayers and practices that help us to be authentic in grieving and letting go of that which doesn't serve us, so that we can make room, just like you would till a soil. So if you're like, that sounds great, but I don't have a community of women to meet with, okay, totally valid. Get a candle, grab your journal, your favorite piece of sweets or chocolate, a cup of your favorite tea. Tell your family you need a few hours to yourself on the next new moon, full moon, whatever. Take a time and sit down and talk to the universe and breathe. For spiritual practice is always breath awareness. So focus on really breathing deeply to start to make space in your mind, in your perception, and in your energy field for a new way of looking, feeling, and thinking about things. So that's what I would say to answer your question first.
Okay, you are also, sorry, I had put myself on mute. So you also do yoga, a lot of different things. So just a couple of tips as to name of the breathing. That's number one. Maybe some yoga asanas, maybe some spiritual work, or what can women do, right? This is not a workshop or a class, but the quick tips on what can they do to, you said, clearing yourself and shedding your old.
I mean, I really think if women aren't meditating, that we're not accessing our spiritual light. So basic meditation is to sit down, light a candle. Maybe if you don't have a guru, whatever religion and culture, if you have a picture of Jesus or Mary or Buddha or your guru or your ancestors, someone that you revere, to put on a picture. And you don't even need a picture. You could have flowers and a candle, your favorite crystal. I just have I have all the elements on my altar, so it's really nice to make an altar if that's, something that you already know how to do from your own religious practice. Sit down, light a candle, take some breaths, and literally set the intention to let go of who you were and open up to who you're becoming, and pray about it. Literally pray and breathe about it, and cry and journal and drink tea and make it yummy, and give yourself a ritual for you to commune with the Divine Mother, or however you see God, Goddess. Okay, so that's really important. Less important is if you're breathing, if you're doing this pose or that pose, is that you're absolutely aligning with your intention to do so. That's the beginning. As far as saying, what energies can clear, I can absolutely share a podcast with you all about how to clear energy. If you need help clearing energy, where I talk with one of my apprentices about clearing energy, that y'all might find very helpful. But literally, to just take the time to sit by yourself and breathe will create huge shifts. So specific practice could be, you breathe into your belly. In yoga, it's called 3-part Durga Swasam, 3-part breath. You want specific, I'm happy to give you, specific. So 3-part breath. So you breathe into your womb, into your belly. Breathe into your mid torso. Yes, thank you. You're doing it with me. Amita. And then you breathe into your lungs, relax your tongue. and breathe out. I found, because I do get heart palpitations if I eat spicy food in menopause. So now I find what foods are working. Now I'm not eating spicy food. I'm not drinking any alcohol, things that I found, food choices. And this is not a talk about food. You have other people that, you specialize in that through this, organization. But energetically, really getting control of your breath helps get control of your mind, because a natural response when you're having heart palpitations or something different happening with your body is, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. This is your body trying to adjust while your hormones are going like this. So breathe very slowly, practice deep breathing. And the other practice I would say is grounding. So make sure that you are really feeling the ground beneath you. This helps you with trauma, fear, nervousness, and anxiety. So make sure, in yoga, it's like tree pose, right? Just stand there. Mountain pose, actually, mountain pose. In my lineage of integral yoga and Swami Satchidananda Maharaj, I was taught that there was a woman in India for like 1,000 years was just standing there, and that was her yoga pose or something like that, 100 years. So just standing and shooting your energy down into Mother Earth, especially as a woman, our power is in our bodies. So we want you to stabilize your nervous system so you can feel safe in your own skin. So those are two basic things that I'd say. And if you want more, I could share more.
No, I think this is just an intro session that we bring on a daily basis.
Okay.
And I mentioned some of the alarming statistics earlier as well, about the divorce rate, about the domestic abuse, and women have to take charge, especially during their menopause at that age, that they can help themselves through this journey, or whatever journey is bringing them at that age, right? So do you want to comment on that part, the divorce and the abuse, before we wrap up the session?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that comes to me, Amita, is that we all know the mindset, love yourself. But how do you love yourself, right? Loving yourself is not just taking a relaxing bath or getting a massage. Loving yourself is the energy of connecting the divine heart, the sacred heart that is God, Goddess, all that is. In as you know, in Sanskrit, it's called anahata. It's unstruck. It's that part of you that's never, ever been hurt. So we all have the sacred within ourselves. So learning how to sit, breathe, cultivate your own heart and love for yourself. That's why I love meditation, because it helps you to learn how to connect your own energy to source, so that your power is not outside. So if you are going through divorce, separation, anything that has you really, everything changing, again, practice sitting, taking deep breaths to calm your nervous system, awaken your heart through any kind of prayer will awaken the heart, and learn to feel love inside of yourself and start to redream your life, whether it's staying in a marriage, not staying in a marriage, moving, not moving, whatever changes. You get to bring all of yourself forward through this rite of passage. That's what I'm doing. And leave behind those parts of yourselves that doesn't work anymore, and that comes with a concentration and a focus and a devotion to being present in your own body. So that's the quick way I can answer that question. I can't hear you.
Thank you so much. And for everyone else, have a great Super Bowl weekend. We know this is a Super Bowl weekend, but keep tuning in to our channel. We bring all these discussions, very insightful discussions on a daily basis. With that, namaste and thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.